Well, we came back from the Monday and Tuesday dark days to find the inner track, well, still here in South Ozone Park, Queens, but a bit wetter than it was when we left off here Sunday afternoon. Those dark days go by pretty quickly, don't they? But that's a good thing, no matter what time of the year it is, as we set sail on our penultimate edition. Vegas odds makers had me saying penultimate, probably around 1 to 5. So if you took the 1 to 5, you cashed. It's the Mig, Rich, and Migliore, Jason Blewitt alongside, and Wednesday afternoon starting a new week, Mig.
And starting a new week and coming to the end of an era. It's a bit bittersweet, like you said, our second to last show, but you know, it's been fun. We've enjoyed it. I hope that the people that have watched have enjoyed it as much as you and I have working together. Oh,
it's been terrific and a real growing and I think learning process over the last year and a half. And we really, truly appreciate the fans of Insider who, whether it be online or right here on MSG Plus, that have tuned in so loyally and so sort of feverishly over the last year and change. And that brings us into headlines tonight as we move forward. And look, it's, you know, December 30th. 2016 is nearly upon us, and the New York Racing Association and MSG have got a partnership going forward, and the contract was just signed. We'll be back on the air in some capacity this coming May.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that, you know, one thing's ending, but it's not like it's the complete finish of something. We're just going to basically be reinvented, and who knows, maybe as much as people resisted the change when we changed over this recap show to Insider, maybe they'll see that, you know, there are better things down the road.
And we do have to give Mitch Levitas, our fearless director, a real big, you know, Aqueduct salute. Mitch, who started here basically working on the old Sports Channel show, Thoroughbred Action with Harvey Pack, basically right out of college. I mean, as a kid, has been here 30-plus years, and he's just the best. We really love him.
Yeah, he has been a fixture here at NYRA and just a great guy to work with, a great friend. And I used to love those Mitch at Large pieces. I'd like to see them come out of the vault at some point.
Mitch is large, and we'll bring back, hopefully, the Mitch at Large as well. I stole that, I think, from Jerry Bailey, but it still holds true today. You look great, Mitch, and we love you very much. Moving on to the two other headlines we have, we go from a champion director to a champion racehorse in California Chrome. Here he is winning the Derby back in 2014, and the clock's ticking away, man. We are so close to this horse running as a 5-year-old January 9th, and it'll be very cool to see him in action, breezing in the public this coming weekend.
Boy, Jason, it seems like that Derby was so long ago, and it really wasn't that long ago. But he has been definitely turning up the heat in the mornings. His every work's been a little bit stronger, a little bit further, and you got to think he's sitting on a big race. I love what I see on film of him. He just looks tremendous. His coat is great. His weight is great. And, you know, he's back where he belongs with Art Sherman in California.
And all the people, every single trainer, owner, jockey that has a 2-year-old about to turn 3 hopes to be where California Chrome just was on the first Saturday in May, with everybody beneath the Twin Spires chasing their horse down to the finish line in the Kentucky Derby. And just like that, flexibility, Kentucky Derby points, and the Jerome are on target for this Saturday.
Yeah, and flexibility, 2 good runs against Mohamed, who is right now my early Derby pick. And these colts change so much in the next few months. They're like high school athletes heading off to college. Jason, who's best at the beginning of the season isn't necessarily who's best by the beginning or the middle of the season, I should say. But I like flexibility, and he'll try to join another good New York bred named Funnyside. Right? So flexibility's in New York bred, a well-bred New York bred, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's he by? Do you remember?
Distorted Humor.
No. Windstar Stallion, though. So you get partial credit there. I'm going to give you a hint. Todd Pletcher trained him. I'm trying to think of a good hit. He's by Stormcat and the Dam. She's a winner by AP Indy. Yeah, Stormcat, AP Indy, and the mare's name was She's a Winner.
I'm completely lost.
Bluegrass Cat.
All right.
All right. I should have said Kentucky basketball team. Maybe you would have got it there. But yeah.
No, I'm not good with that stuff. Too many concussions. We're learning more about that all the time.
Right.
But I like flexibility. I like that he has seen a lot of different situations. And for these young horses, you want them seasoned like that.
All right. Chad Brown also has Gift Box. That horse currently based down in Florida and gearing up for what we presume will be a Gulfstream Park 3-year-old debut. It's just a fun time, although Insider's ending. And again, it's bittersweet and a little sad. We look ahead to 2016 with plenty of optimism, and John Brielle shares that optimism as we get it up to him for the call of race number 6. Second division of 2-year-old New York-bred maidens going long. Do note a very important late scratch with a minute to post of the 2. Hit it once more.
Just the Fleet. Towards the inside is Hold the Right Cards, and towards the outside it's Cause for Surprise and Irish Filibuster. They race into the clubhouse turn. Just a Fleet is the leader here by a full length now. Yummy Bear is in second, and on the outside is Irish Filibuster in third. Hold the Right Cards is next in fourth. Cause for Surprise is fifth. Aragonite runs in sixth, and at the back are Squashville Road and Foggy Mountain Cat. They race up the backstretch through a quarter in 24 seconds. Just the Fleet in front here, 3/4 of a length over Yummy Bear. And on the outside is Irish Filibuster third by a head. The gray Hold the Right Cards runs in fourth. Then it's Cause for Surprise next in fifth, about 3.5 from the lead. Aragonite is alongside. And then Squashville Road and Foggy Mountain Cat, 1/2 mile in 49 seconds. Just the Fleet still there as they start the run into the far turn. Just the Fleet by just a half length now. Yummy Bear, Irish Filibuster, Cause for Surprise. They're all gaining on the front runner, and now there's 4 of them stacked across the track with Hold the Right Cards in fifth and Aragonite in sixth. At the top of the stretch, Cause for Surprise on the extreme outside. Yummy Bear and Just the Fleet battles on down at the rail. Irish Filibuster is back running in fourth. It's Cause for Surprise with the lead over Yummy Bear. Cause for Surprise by 3/4 of a length. Yummy Bear is second, and Just the Fleet is third. It's Cause for Surprise to take it as the 8-5 favorite. Yummy Bear was second, and Just the Fleet checked in third.
More of a 3 to 4 wide speed throughout with this gelding by Giant Surprise, who's had himself one big first crop season standing in the Big Apple, and a nice effort from Cause for Surprise, owned by Team Power Play Racing.
Yeah, good job by Gary Gullo. This horse looked really, really good in the warm-up. He kind of touted himself, and he responded with a big effort because he was wide throughout, and that's a difficult thing to do on the inner track, and these are young horses. 6-horse Yummy Bear, he responded well to his first start on the dirt. Arguably, maybe as good as any of his starts on the turf.
Definitely, and we are seeing Sons of Candy ride, mainly Twirling Candy and Yummy Bear, who's by Sydney's Candy. Those 2 stallions have been pretty good. Maybe Candy Ride will turn out to be a sire of sires, because man, was he a good racehorse.
Yeah, he was some kind of racehorse. You go back to his Pacific Classic, and he ran some, otherworldly buyer figure, like a 120, if I'm not
Something
mistaken.
like that, 120, 122, and a very, very good horse. In the top 10 of horses I've seen with my own eyes, was no match for him that day. Do you remember who ran second to him?
Gosh, you got me today. I'm just coming off a vacation.
How about Bailey Franco? Bailey and Frankel.
Oh, Medaglia d'Oro?
Very good.
Wow.
By El Prado.
Wow, pretty good. Hey, there we go.
There
There's
you
my
go.
camera, too.
All right, Julie Crone, Candy Ride, good stuff. Mig, so you're 1 for 2 on the show tonight.
I needed help there.
And even though you've landed on your head a few times, you still look good. And the hair looks great as well.
Thanks.
Let's move on to race 7. You got it, my friend. Pick 3 time. In fact, the last pick 3 on the program. Statebreds in this A other than allowance. And back up to John and Brielle.
Bellamy Way and Brimstone. And on the outside, Pierce's Prize moves up. But it will be Brimstone to lead the field into the clubhouse turn, with Pierce's Prize racing in second. Bellamy Way is down at the rail in third. Then Loose Money on the outside running in fourth. The Crocheron Kid is next in fifth. Zabayon is sixth. Ode to the Hunt runs in seventh. It's a break of 3 to Lehigh 5 in eighth. Another 2 to the 2 trailers. Repent Twice and King Dixie. They head up the backstretch. Brimstone leads by a half length. Loose Money far outside. In between those 2 are Bellamy Way and Pierce's Prize. So 4 of them right together up front. They've got a length and a half on the Crocheron Kid and Ode to the Hunt. Then it's Zabillon racing in 7th. Repent Twice is 8th. Break of 5. Back to King Dixie. Lehigh 5 is the trailer in 10th. The quarter went in 23 and 4. The half up in 48 and 3/5 seconds. As they go around the far turn, it's Bellamy Way on the outside of Brimstone with Pierce's Prize just in behind, and now moving up on the outside from 3rd. A gap of 3. Back to the Crocheron Kid, Repent Twice, and Zabillon. 3/4 in 1/14. The field heads for home, and it's Bellamy Way on top. Pierce's Prize on the outside is Zabillon. And then Repent Twice as they pass the 8th pole. Bellamy Way challenged here by Zabillon and Repent Twice. Bellamy Way is holding them off as they come for the finish, and Bellamy Way is the winner by a length. A photo for second between Repent Twice and Zabillon. A big break back to Pierce's Prize in 4th.
Here's a New York bred and a tough one by a former Wood Memorial winner in Bellamy Road, and Bellamy Way favored consistently fast, consistently just on the board, and this was a spot where he was able to strut his stuff.
Yeah, he was the best horse on paper. He looked the best on the racetrack. It was interesting, too. I thought he got to pulling up, waiting on horses a bit, and then when he felt the challenge coming from the eventual runner-up, Repent Twice, he kind of reasserted himself. Repent Twice ran well. He had to overcome that post, and it was the most logical result, wasn't it?
Yeah, it basically was when Brimstone, who was maybe co-second choice, co-third choice with Repent Twice, vied inside and tired. I guess that was the most logical result, as David Canizzo, the trainer, is reunited with Erod Ortiz and his 3-year-old by Bellamy Road out of a Sea Hero dam. We have got plenty to talk about. In fact, this card really ramped up in intensity. Uncle Si, send it in, round 2, after the break. Back to the Big A. We're starting to at least head in the right direction as far as daylight and the days actually staying lit a bit longer, and the bright lights of Equestris. Well, they're just drawing us in this New Year's Day, 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. I'm not good at math, but that's 4 hours, all you can eat up in Equestris Buffet. $36 for the adults. Bring the whole family out. We'll let the kids in for $25 a pop. I'm sure they have an extensive dessert tray with ice cream and cookies and all that stuff. And I have to steal this from Dave Grenning of the Racing Forum. And if you're not following Dave on Twitter, you're missing out on one of the best racing Twitter handles. Dave tweeted an hour ago, you know, they're charging $800 for Bubba Gump in Times Square on New Year's Eve, $400 to sit at Olive Garden in Times Square on New Year's Eve. Well, you come out here the day after, far less money than those two places.
Far less money, all you can eat, and great racing action. I mean, I would rather do that than sit out there in Times Square, wait for a ball to drop. I'd rather see a horse's nose drop on the line.
I like that. A win-win situation. And will you be up when the ball falls at midnight?
I will probably be sleeping for about 2 hours at that point.
I'm right with you, my friend, dreaming of pick 6, pick 5 scores. As we move on to race 8, this was the Wednesday feature. A decent-sized field, but the public zeroed in on the big 2, so to speak. Send it in for the Pletcher barn and Bill Mott's barn saddled Uncle Si. It's the big 2 and Johnny I.
Hunch Road hustled away from the extreme outside. Fox Rules up for the lead as well. So it's Fox Rules and Hunch Road. And Fox Rules gets the lead going into the clubhouse turn. Hunch Road runs in second with Giant Finish next in third. Then it's Uncle Si in fourth. And down at the rail is More Zen T. They move around the turn, head for the backstretch. Fox Rules the leader by a length. Giant Finish is in second, and on the outside is Hunch Road next in third. Moore's NT runs in fourth. Uncle Si is alongside in fifth. Send It In next in sixth, followed by Beyond Empire in seventh. And it's Jaeger, and Bass River Road is at the back, and they're midway up the backstretch with Fox Rules continuing to lead here. It's Fox Rules by a little more than a length. Giant Finish, Hunch Road heads apart second and third with Moore's NT down at the fence in fourth. The quarter 23 and 3, the half 48 and 3. Extreme outside is Jaeger. Send It In is now gaining a bit of ground along with Uncle Si. At the back are Beyond Empire and Bass River Road. Midway on the turn, Fox Rules by a length and a half. Hunch Road is running in second. Send it in, down at the rail in third, with Uncle Si alongside in fourth. They head for home. Fox Rules with the lead over Send It In. Uncle Si is dropping back. Fox Rules. Here's Send It In down towards the rail. Send It In and Fox Rules. And Send It In is sent to the front by Manny Franco. Send It In wins by 2. Pace setter Fox Rules was second. Then Moore's NT and Hunch Road.
Well, Uncle Si's trip back to the inner track, because he had had so much success over it during the early winter months of 2014, basically a bust. It wasn't, though, for the odds-on favorite. Bit over bet, perhaps at 390, but Send It In has just turned into a racehorse.
He really has. He got a terrific ride from Manny Franco. It was a pretty fast, contested pace. We got to give a lot of credit to the 4 Fox Rules for hanging in there as well as he did, but Send It In worked out a great trip. Uncle Si, he looks so good on the track. He looks so good in the paddock. Jason, he just doesn't seem like a horse that handles adversity well. When he kind of got in and amongst horses, you could just see he wasn't comfortable. And maybe as much success as he's had on the inner track, maybe it's really not the best go for him, because you have to kind of get in the muck and mire if you're not a speed horse. And he just looks uncomfortable to me when he gets surrounded.
And as far as options, you just don't have many on the inner. You're going 3/4, or you're going a mile and 70 or a mile and a 16th. Yep. We'll see how he comes out of the race. It's good to have him back. We're fans of his. He was a great story with Contessa and Wounded Warrior Stable. They were donating 10% of his purse earnings to the Wounded Warrior Project. I'd like to see Uncle Si get back, even if he's not a Grade 1 monster, just get back and run well and be consistently good.
You know, I think it underscores the fact that a horse doesn't only have to be physically the specimen you need, you know, to have the athletic prowess and look as good as he does, but they also have to have that mental capacity. It's what distinguishes human athletes from each other. The ones that have maybe this a little more heart, that little more killer instinct, they go get it.
All right, well said there, Mig. As we move on to everything else that happened on this last Wednesday on this circuit in 2015, Johnny I once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9.
Here's Annie Walker on the far outside, and Stolen Victory is coming on. It's Fiery Cat, Stolen Victory alongside. Fiery Cat and Stolen Victory has taken the lead. Fiery Cat is back in second. Annie Walker is third. Stolen Victory to post the upset in the opener. Stolen Victory at 9-1. Fiery Cat was second. Then Annie Walker and Lady Liana. Daisy If You Do, and back to Toga in the stretch. It's Greg's Beauty with the lead. Here's the favorite, Mia and Molly, driving up on the outside. Greg's Beauty and Mia and Molly, they're right together as they come for the 16th pole. And the 1-5 favorite, Mia and Molly, now takes over and draws away here in deep stretch. Mia and Molly, the winner by 4. Greg's Beauty was second, then Sweet Pursuit, and You're a Daisy If You Do. The field is in the stretch, the half in 46-2, and they're still chasing Angry Moon, who leads by 3 lengths. Then it's Morty's Miracle. Rockford on the outside nonstop. Saturday's Charm is 5th. They're coming down for the finish, and it's Angry Moon, and Angry Moon, the longest shot on the board, takes them wire to wire. Rockford second. Nonstop was third. Cat Smile in third. Into the lane now. Owner Gentleman on the outside, R.F. Burton down at the rail. They continue to duke it out here as they come for the 8th pole. R.F. Burton inside. Owner Gentleman on the outside. They're putting on a terrific show here. Owner Gentleman and R.F. Burton. And now there's nothing between them with 50 yards to the wire. Owner Gentleman on the outside gets ahead in front and wins it. R.F. Burton was second. Then Bluegrass Cat Smile. At the rail is Tati Royer. The field is in the stretch. I'm a Wildcat gets clear to lead by 2. Sound of Freedom is all out in second. Escandolce on the outside. Tati Royer down at the rail. Then Humboldt Street and our Cardinal 1. Here comes Escandolce up to take over the lead from I'm a Wildcat. And Escandolce is the winner. Close for second between I'm a Wildcat and Sound of Freedom. Is the leader. On the outside is a Nobody Move. Fake It Till You Make It in front by 2. And then it's Nobody Move and Borrow Dreams. Past the 8th pole, fake it till you make it. On the outside is Nobody Move. Borrowed Dreams looking for a way through, but is third. And now Nobody Move has taken over as they come down for the finish. Nobody Move wins it. Fake it till you make it was second. Then Borrowed Dreams, and farther back, Joey Cap.
That was just a chalk procession the last half of this card. Favorites dominating in the last 4 races, basically. I think the pick 4 for 50 cents paid $15.40, and pick 6, 650 bones.
Yeah, and I mean, even the late pick 3 paying $25 for a $2 bet, it almost seemed generous because they were pretty logical results. But I thought it was a pretty interesting split maiden New York bred race.
Yeah, I thought there was a bit more form going into race 6 as opposed to race 4. Paul Papa, by the way, sweeping the late double as an owner with 2 homebreds by Big Brown and the Funny Bone. But here's the first division. Maybe this race lacked the form going in, but it turned out to be, and Johnny I was right on top of it, just one thrilling race down to the wire.
It really was. And you see the horse on the outside, the 2-horse Owner Gentleman. He's trying to lug in a little bit. Irad Adiz is doing a great job trying to keep him off of R.F. Burton, who's ultra game on the inside, keeps fighting. R.F. Burton, very late changing his leads, might have made a little bit of a difference, but Owner Gentleman tried to lug in first time. He's trying to lug in again. I don't think he even really knows how to run yet, Jason, so you got to think there's a lot of upside for him, but I thought a really game performance by R.F. Burton as well.
Who will be a threat coming back. His first start beyond a mile showed a lot of courage and gameness digging in along the fence, but David Donk got himself a winner in race number 4 with Erod Ortiz. Actually, Erod had 3 wins on today's card, and in fact, Erod was one of 3 riders who walked away with more than 1 victory today, as he had the hat trick. We also had Kendra Carmouche, who took a pair of races and a very nice ride in the 3rd, speed popping the field at 12-1, and veteran Cornelia Velasquez had a riding double. For Linda Rice, she picked up a pair of wins today. She had a few shots to make it 3, but just couldn't get it done in that regard, and Linda the only one today with more than 1 victory. As we go to claims, well, we've got the claims right now, actually. 7-way shake on the 1-5 favorite Mia and Molly, who looked about as a sure thing as you could ever encounter in racing.
You know, but now she lost that maiden condition. She broke her maiden, so you would like, if you're claiming her, have to have her run second, so you still have a place to go.
And we have another page. Speaking of Linda, who lost me and Molly, she also lost the number 5, Eskin Dulce, picked up out of the win in race 5 by Scott Schwartz. And I'm very curious to see what Raymond Handel, who is a former assistant to Tony Dutrow, what he can do with Sound of Freedom, who at one time I thought might be one of Todd Pletcher's best 2-year-olds in the summer of 13.
You know, I always like those claims for horses that have past, ability or back class, so to speak, because if the new trainer can find that in them, they got a chance to improve.
Yeah, he's one to put on the list, Sound of Freedom for Raymond Handel, as we have one more segment remaining on the show. Heck of a New York bred showdown. In fact, the spotlight goes bright on the state breds in tomorrow's Alex M. Robb after the break. Working on the track, Glenn Kozak and the crew round the clock during the chilly winter months of December. In fact, we'll take this weather going forward. It would be nice if the sun came out, at least for a few days, but this is better than snow. As the Mig and Jason set sail for the finish line, and it never ceases to amaze me as somebody that grew up in the west end of Floral Park, really in the shadows of Belmont, just how never-ending the work that goes into maintaining the tracks.
It is never-ending. And you think about when there's all 3 tracks open, Saratoga, Belmont, and Saratoga, and you got training tracks and different surfaces and turf courses. Glenn Kozak and his crew do an amazing job.
Let's move on to the New York bred races tomorrow. They are undoubtedly the highlights on the December 31st New Year's Eve card at the Big A. Up first, Bob Baffert has got a listed horse, Dr. Dempsey. Will the doctor move forward for the Terra Novas and Bob Baffert? And he figures to play part in what could be a fast early pace. And the Mets in December? Up first, Dr. Dempsey. This was a tough loss for a horse who I didn't like at all in his comeback race. He's down on the rail. He ran too good to lose here at 6.5.
He really did. And it looked like he was going to get swallowed at one point, but he kept finding. You see Eric Cancel going to a left-handed whip, kind of comes out here pretty abruptly trying to meet a challenge. But this was a tired horse at this point. And you got to think with that effort, if it doesn't tear him down. He's supposed to go forward.
Now, does Go Mets go forward? And you know what? To be fair, he probably doesn't have to need to improve off his solid effort for Rudy Rodriguez. Lost a tough one here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he really did lose a tough one here. But, you know, listen, Go Mets is a nice horse. He's got enough speed to be tactical. But the more I looked at this race, I really thought that there's a real good chance Dr. Dempsey gets loose. I know Here's a Jetpack has speed too, but I think there's quality speed and then there's the other kind of speed.
Right.
So Go Mets will be in a good stalking spot, though.
All righty, Rod Ortiz rides him from the outside, and one-sided will turn back. He ran so well in the Albany, lost a tough one up there. His last few races, mainly his most recent start, have just been basically non-efforts.
Yeah, they've been non-efforts, and it feels like it's almost a little bit of a desperation move, the turn back. Like you're trying to make him find his form again. I have a hard time seeing him keep up with this group going 6. And the inner track, even though it's not dominated by speed, you want to have position. And I just see him getting outrun with the turn back.
And you've got a big field as well.
Yeah.
Lee, that may spell doom for anybody trying to gain too much ground from the back or even middle of the pack in a good field in race number 7. And we just saw Good Luck Gus run down one-sided in the Albany Stakes, and Good Luck Gus, one of a few players, as we go to the keys to the race. This has always been, at least in my mind, over the last 20 years, this has been the New Year's Eve stake at the Big 8. 2 turns for Empire Dreams, who just has really found his game. Is Snacks hungry for a win for Gary Siaka, and Bullheaded Boy is in the race. He's so consistent. Turf, dirt, doesn't matter. Up first, Empire Dreams winning the Empire Classic.
Yeah, and he's been in good form. I like the way he's held this form. I love the inside draw for him. I really think it's a huge advantage to have an inside post position, and Empire Dreams has that, and I think he's going to be double tough for West Point Thoroughbreds.
And a little rematch working here off the Evan Shipman towards the end of the Belmont Summer Meet. Saratoga Snacks and Empire Dreams. The good Saratoga Snacks, and he's been good more often than he's been the bad Saratoga Snacks, can give Empire Dreams a run for his money tomorrow.
And I think Saratoga Snacks is going to get a good setup. Ostrolenka is drawn right to his inside. He's probably the main speed. He sets up in a stalking spot. This horse obviously loves it in Gary Siaka's barn. He has just responded well. And I think his poor effort in the Empire Classic was because of how hard he ran in the Evan Shipman.
And you've got that deep bench for Trader Todd Pletcher, who has Ostrolenka, who might be in a bit tough, but again, could be and likely plays out as the controlling speed. And then you've got the nice 1-2 punch for the barn with Bullheaded Boy, who does his best running from off the pace.
Yeah, and Bullheaded Boy got a real nice ride, nice trip last time from Manny Franco. Kendrick Carmouche takes the reins, and he's going to have to work out a trip. I don't know what's best for him. I'd like to own him because he runs on any surface.
So honest.
But I'm not convinced he can beat these kind of horses on the dirt.
We're nearly out of time, but before we say goodnight, it's the top 19 of 15 AP, the day before the Travers, galloping in front of 20,000. What a scene.
What a scene. I've been on the racetrack for 35 years, and I can't remember a morning atmosphere like that. It was incredible. There was about 20,000 people there. I was down in the winner's circle. The excitement level, it just shows what a racehorse town, or racing town, I should say, Saratoga is. Because people got up early in the morning to come out and watch a horse gallop. That tells you a lot of what you need to know about the game.
This is seared into my mind for the remainder of my life. 19,000 in attendance, Mother Nature's masterpiece, galloping before the Midsummer Derby, Horse of the Year campaign, and that'll do it for the Big and myself tonight here on Aqueduct Insider.